Hello, and welcome back to Kim Reads as we continue with Addy's Surprise, Chapter 3. Freedom Ain't Free. At church the next morning, Mama and Addy sat side by side in the women's section. Addy looked across the aisle where all the men sat and imagined that someday her papa would be sitting right there, smiling at her and giving her a wink that said, "You my favorite girl." When the deep notes of the organ sounded, everyone stood to sing. The first song was one of Addy's favorites. Auntie Lula had taught it to her back on the plantation. Now Addy sang it out with the others in joy. "This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine." After a long prayer, Reverend Drake began his sermon. I want to begin this morning by reading from the book of Luke. Turn to chapter 2, verses 6 and 7. Mama took a Bible from the rack of the pew in front of them. Abby helped her find the passage. Reverend Drake said, "This passage I'm about to read you is about Mary and Joseph." Addy and Mama and the other church members followed along as Reverend Drake said, "And she brought forth her firstborn son and wrapped him in swaddling clothes and laid him in a manger, because there was no room for them at the inn." Now this is the story of Christmas, the story of the birth of Jesus. The first time it come for Mary to give birth to Jesus. Let me tell you, people, time is a curious thing. It can't be stopped like a clock. Reverend Drake said. "You right, Reverend," one church member called out. "Time keeps right on moving, and I'm here to tell you time for freedom has come for thousands of our people. These freedmen are waiting right now in Washington, D.C. and other cities, and they need our help. Stay with me now," Reverend Drake preached. "Think with me, because I'm here to tell you this morning, freedom ain't free." A church member shouted in the back, "You preaching the truth." Addy scooted over closer to Mama and laid her on Mama's shoulder. Mama put her arm around Addy and rocked gently in the pew. Addy liked coming to church. Anyone who wanted to could take part in their service. If you felt like answering the reverend, you could. If you felt like crying or laughing or clapping to the music of the choir sang, you could. Reverend Drake continued, "Some of you already know what I'm talking about because there was a time when you came to freedom and you found out what freedom was all about. It wasn't free. You needed food to eat, clothes to wear, a place to stay." "Amen," Mama replied. "I'm here to tell you people, time ain't gonna stop for thousands of freedmen who need our help. As I speak to you, babies are being born, and children are hungry, and mothers and fathers have no place to lay their heads at night. They need our help now, today," Reverend Drake said, his voice getting louder. Addy looked up at Mama and saw tears running down her face. Addy gave Mama a little hug. "As we enter the season of Advent, the time of preparing for Christmas, let God work through you. When the collection boxes are past the Freedmen's Fund, these people are your cousins and your brothers and sisters, your mothers and fathers," Reverend Drake said, pounding on the pulpit. "It might mean you have to sacrifice. If you can't give your money, give of your time. Next Saturday, a group of freedmen are coming at the pier. Come help us welcome them to freedom." I close by saying freedom can be a lonely walk through the wilderness and dark. You can make a difference between a lonely night and one filled with light and hope. On the way home from church, Mama and Addy walked through the hand in hand, humming, "This little light of mine." Even when it was cold out, Addy felt a warm glow inside. "I've been thinking about what the Reverend Drake said this morning," Mama said slowly. "He remembered how it was for me when we first came to Philadelphia. We had nothing. The church helped us when we needed it. Now we done save more than $1.50. The freedmen need our help right now. They need our savings more than we do. We can get along without a lamp, but they can't get along without help. What do you think?" At first, Addy didn't say anything. It was true. She and Mama could get along without the lamp. They had saved so hard for it. A lamp would help her see better when she did her homework, and it would help Mama when she had to sew late at night. Addy could imagine how nice it would be to have a lamp when Sam and Papa and Esther returned, when their family was at last together again. She could picture their faces glowing in the bright light as they gathered around the table. Back when she remembered how scared and lonely she and Mama had been when they first came to Philadelphia, and how the church had been helping them find a place to live and friends. I think we should give our money to the church, Addy said. Other people helped us. The money might even help Sam or Papa or Esther come to us. Even if they don't, replied Mama, it's going to help somebody. That's what's important. She squeezed Addy's hand. We'll give the church our money next Sunday. With a pang of guilt, Addy remembered the 10 cents she had knotted up in her kerchief. Should she give that to help the freedmen too? No, Addy thought. I can't give that money away. It's for Mama's Christmas surprise. Addy decided to keep the money. She was determined to buy the scarf and show Mama how much she loved her. She would find another way to help the freedmen. Mama, she said, can I go to the pier next Saturday to help out with the freedmen? I think that would be just fine, Addy, said Mama, just so you finish all of Mrs. Worf's deliveries. I will, Addy promised. And that's the end of that chapter, and I will see you later.